Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BBB Sharing. I'm Evie, Director of Ignite, sparked by BBB. And with me today, I have our CEO and President, Barry Moore. Barry, say hello.
Wave too? Can I wave?
You can wave.
Evie, way to go. Getting this gentleman here. Met him a number of times and I can't wait to hear from him and share his mission and the why. They just picked up stuff out of our closet and laptops
They
and
did.
copiers, I think from 1810. They took it all. So wires, we had a box of wires. Nobody knew what they were for. So
Really? Just sitting there?
just sitting there, taking up
Well,
space. So Mark's gave
Mr.
them,
Mark Casper definitely knew what to do with them. We did not.
yes.
Mark, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I want to start off with, and I always start off with this, I want to know your background and what led you to, because you're the president and CEO of Tech for Troops, right?
Correct.
So what led you to start Tech for Troops?
I didn't start it.
You didn't?
No, but I came aboard in December of 2015 as I was asked to be on the board. And as a Marine, I was like, that makes sense to
Yeah.
me because it's a veteran organization.
Right.
So when I walked in the door, I mean, literally God told me I was home. Whether you believe in God or not, my head exploded. I had the lollipops and the unicorns and the apple trees and all that kind of stuff. And then took the quick tour, 750 square feet, and I was asked to be the executive director. And then at that point, I said, yes, quick. And I went home, told my wife, hey, guess what? I'm gonna shut down my company and do something different. And she's like, you've never done that. So it's been a journey. And from 750 square foot today, we're at over 8,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like a very similar story.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, God put me here in this
Yeah.
job.
Oh, yeah.
Only God could have put, and Evie's heard this story, everybody's heard it, but Barry Moore had the job before and Barry Moore took the job. So my replacement is Barry Moore. So I encourage Crystal or Evie to change the name. So anyway, but yeah, God knows what he's doing. And then
Oh,
I
yeah.
found a chapel and my life has never been so great at 62.
I
I'm in the
totally
right place.
agree. I'm turning 60 this year, and when I get out of the Marine Corps in '87, a long time ago, I thought I had the tiger by the tail, right? And the world was going to say, yeah, you're going to be corporate jets and you're going to be making and all that, and it didn't work out that
No.
way. And I call it twisting in the wind because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But then when I came into the veteran community again, and this was 10 years ago, 12 years ago, that's when I found my calling again. That's what I needed to do, was to give back to the community. And that's where Tech for Troops has just taken off, is we give back as much as possible.
I was going to ask you, what's the story behind Tech for Troops?
So it was a mom and her son had a Marine, one of my brothers. He came back from Afghanistan and he couldn't find a job. He's sleeping on the couch and didn't have a computer. And literally it was, hey, how do we get him a computer so he can apply for jobs? And this was back in 2013, 2014.
Mhm.
So the internet was still in its nascent stage, starting, right? So it's in the middle level there. And that's literally was it. And then they started doing them on the kitchen table. Then they went to the garage and the storage unit. And now we're at Staples Mill, where
Wow,
we've been for 8 years now, since I started.
Amazing.
that is amazing. What are some of the success stories that you've heard about or you've experienced through Tech for Troops?
Oh my, there's many.
Amazing.
So I was teaching a class one Saturday, and I'm being who I am, right? I'm a little I want to be on time, right? Amy and I talked about this earlier a few seconds ago.
You did the right thing.
Yeah. And I'm in the middle of class and I heard my door outside slam and I'm like, okay, who's walking in my class late? And I get a little ruffled when that happens, right? 20 minutes late. I'm like, what's going on? And I met this gentleman at the door. He was in the older black man and he had a Tech for Troops computer with him, a laptop. And I'm like, what's going on? You know, spear the words. I'm like, what's going on? And he said, well, I'm here to give back. And I almost tear up when I hear this. I'm like, stop what you're saying, come into the class and tell the guys what you've done. And he's like, I'm a combat medic from Vietnam. I got a computer. He was destitute. He was alcoholic and such. And he went through a brief life story. And then he's like, I've made it. I'm able to give back, and I want to give this computer back to my veteran brothers and sisters. And I was just like, oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a
tears
killer.
were coming down.
That's a killer.
And then there's others like Jason, who's my game master, right? Jason is a phenomenal guy. We started a Aiming for Zero suicide prevention program, and he he's open about this, but he's a suicide survivor, opioid survivor, combat medic, 3 TBIs. And he's found purpose, right? He lives to come into work and to save lives, and he saved, it's either 11 or 12 lives so far. And we just received word that we're going to be supporting veterans that are in mental health institutions. So we're going to be even saving more lives on a daily basis through our support for Aiming for Zero there. And it's I mean, tears, because
Yeah.
it's what God does.
I'm glad we're videoing it and it's also, so it'll be on YouTube, but you can share it, we'll share it, but so the number was what, 22?
22 a day, 17 to 22.
And I don't know if that number's come down because you don't hear that anymore. Is it coming?
Yeah, a little bit.
Good, because Jason Redmond used to be big on that, and I don't see the posts anymore about the 22. So I don't know if we moved on or we're doing it in a different way, because you start somewhere as you learn, and then you try things, and then the messaging changes again.
Right.
And that's what we're going through at the BBB. 1912 we started.
Wow.
Nonprofit, not a government agency, and consumers, all of the people that come through your doors, I want them to know, every individual, to go to bbb.org first before they spend money at a restaurant or a real estate agent or an attorney or an accountant. Do it right. Virginia Urology is accredited, Ortho Virginia, Massey Cancer Center. So go to bbb.org and protect them, because these soldiers have been through so much.
Right.
And they're scammed. I mean, that's seniors and military is what we've done for 40, 50 years
Right.
to help with education. So that's what's anxious for me to work with you guys. So
I am in total agreement with you. The scams are big and large and fast, and they keep changing and they keep morphing into different things. And it's heartbreaking to have a guy come in and go, I spent X dollars, $2,000 who didn't have, to try and get his disability.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's free.
Right.
If you go to a different location, and they're going to be better doing it for free, because they're not going to scam you. They're not going to try and take your money from you. So I am with you on that.
Hey, I'm sorry, Evie, but going into that, so my background is cars. When I met you, I was in the car world, and down around the bases, even with the old Fort Lee here, when the soldiers would get that bonus money, there are unscrupulous dealers, right? And you go out, you put down your $10,000 bonus you're getting to go give your life for us, and then that rotten car dealer does your payments, your interest rate's 22%. Okay, if that's the best loan, you're gonna get every car warranty possible. You're gonna rust and dust, as we call it, and you're gonna go for 72, 84 months. You're upside down for at least 6 years, and you're giving your life for us. So if car dealers, they all think they're the same, they all sell the same sheet metal, new car dealers, not the same thing. Each dealer is different, so that's why I encourage bbb.org, because they start with trust. I've worked for 9 dealers, and they all were accredited in 40 years. I never worked for anybody else.
I have personally been scammed from that when I was in the Marine Corps. Bought my first car, right? So I had a car, but then I bought my own when I was in. And they saw me walking in the door.
Sure they
did.
This
young punk.
You look like a Marine.
I did, actually.
Marines look like Marines.
We did.
Always.
And they literally made the payments to the day I got out of the Marine Corps, right? They knew exactly how to do it, and I was paying a boatload of cash for really a car that wasn't worth it.
$20,000 car cost you 60.
Yeah, pretty close.
Sad, but that's the education we're here for, Mark. And
good.
And I remember meeting you years ago, and I don't know if it was the Virginia War Memorial first or at Haley at an event. I don't know, but we met way back, right when you started. So I was on the board of the War Memorial, and I still the BBB and the War Memorial, the 2 best board of directors I've ever served on.
That is awesome. Yeah. I like the one where Claremont Castle was a good guy. Great guy.
Yeah. He started near the end of my time there, but he's great.
Yeah.
I mean, military, and his dad's military.
Yep.
Nothing like talking to those guys. They really are stand-up people.
He's helped grow that place.
We'll let Evie ask another question.
There we go.
Sorry, Evie.
Well, I want everyone to get the most out of it. So I really want everyone to know what services you all provide for the veterans through Tech for Troops, because I know you all do an amazing job.
So we actually have 4 programs, and they all support each other. Okay, so first is data destruction. As Barry mentioned, we picked up the computers. We're going to guarantee that data is gone, whether it's from a laptop, desktop, a cell phone, a router, a switch. If it fails the wiping that we do, which is certified, that it's forensically tested, that we are destroying that data, we have a hard drive shredder. So it turns it into pieces. Second thing that we do is the education for the veterans, both in person and online. We have a training room at our facility. Seats 24. We do classes about every 2 to 3 weeks, bring in 15 to 20 vets, teach them how to use a computer. And then when they're leaving, they actually get access to 5,000 free classes online. So if everything from leadership to mindfulness to Microsoft Office to Python, you name it, they have access to anything they want to put their fingertips into. And we're starting a new program soon with help from local corporations of training for data center employees. Because there's a desperate need, and Virginia is the largest data center place in the world, right? So we're doing that, and then the next thing we do is the aiming for zero suicide prevention, which is a suicide rate from 22 to 0 is what we're aiming for. And then the last thing is the recycling. So if we pick up something like a copy that can't be reused, we're going to responsibly recycle it with an R2 certified company. So it doesn't go into landfill, doesn't go to China, doesn't go to Africa, where the kids literally stand in hazardous waste and they die within years because it's leaching in through their feet. And the whole thing, it's horrific. And we want everybody to understand, even if you don't trust us, trust somebody with your data or your devices so they don't go in the landfill, and use an organization that is not going to send it overseas. Because if you've ever looked for the videos, it's heartbreaking. It's horrible. And I have 3 granddaughters, right? I want the world a better place when I die. And it's not just for me, but it's for all of us and all our future generations. So use us for your e-waste, because we'll pick it up, we'll bring it, we'll make sure we destroy it correctly, and then we'll do whatever we need to do with it, whether it gets reused, recycled, or refurbished. We'll do something with it. It doesn't go in the trash.
A company that donates that stuff or gives it away to you guys for you to do it, they are acting in a green mentality. They're checking a box.
Absolutely.
I don't even know if they realize that. We did it a couple weeks ago. I don't know that I realized that.
Yeah.
You're conscious of it.
One of the cool things that we just started, it was back May 1st, and so it's been a couple of days, is we're actually managing and calculating the carbon offsets that we do.
Awesome.
So at BBB, and we inventory everything we get, right? So it goes into a system, so we know what we get and where it goes and all that kind of stuff. We track it. If you need a carbon offset certificate, we can provide that. So if it's for the ESG, right, environmental, social, and governance, if any company out there is like, hey, we're really big into this, and use larger organizations, larger corporations, especially international, the Altrias, the CarMaxes, they have to do that kind of stuff. So we're able to provide them with that satisfaction, that knowledge that what they're doing is the right thing.
We're going to share that with our ABs, our accredited businesses, because
beautiful.
All around the country, they should all know that we're international also. So we're at 13 minutes.
I have one more question.
Go.
I want to know, how can people get in touch with you? How can they get involved with Tech for Troops and make the most out of it?
So getting in touch with us is really easy. It's www.techfortroops.org. That's TECHFOR troops.org. And then use the contact us page. Really cool story on that was I was just on the BBC International and getting stuff from people all over the world like, hey, I heard about you. How can I get my stuff to you? I'm like, well, you're in Britain. I don't know. Try this. So that's really cool. And that way. And then we're also at Staples Mill Road here in Richmond, 4840 Waller Road, WALLER, which is right behind the Wawa and Staples Mill in 64. So literally walking distance to the highway, and it's a very safe area. I personally want to say, because we have a lot of female volunteers, and I don't want them to feel scared or anything when they're walking out the door, walking in. So I need that.
It means a lot.
Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mark, for coming in today.
Thank you, Evie. Thanks for having me. Very appreciate this.
Yeah, be great. Hopefully we'll see you back here in the studio.
I hope
with
so.
Your own podcast.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening. This is BBB Sharing, and make sure to follow us on Ignite Sparked by BBB Central Virginia, Instagram and Facebook. And if you're a business person or you're looking to get involved with the Better Business Bureau, follow us on LinkedIn at the BBB Serving Central Virginia. Thank you.